Hi, my name's Kane Ramsey. Thank you very much for choosing to join me on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth, which is what it is gonna be. This is my Authentic Confidence and Self-Esteem Masterclass, and the reason why I've called it the Authentic Confidence and Self-Esteem Masterclass is because there are many people out there today advocating quick fixes, feel confident in 30 minutes, I can make you feel confident, just kind of love yourself and you'll feel right about your life and all that kind of thing. And there's a pretty good chance if you've taken any more than one of them, you will know that they do not last. How do I know this? Because I've taken them all. Alrighty, so throughout the 12 to 15 hours that follow, I want to offer you and equip you with an indispensable guide to self-awareness, personal growth, that's going to enable you to cultivate powerful, authentic confidence that lasts. I want to open up the course with an idea, if I may. All right, and this is really to help you manage your expectations before any other things. Have you ever experienced disappointment before in your life? There's a pretty good chance that you have. I have. I reckon every human being in the world has at some point. The funny thing about disappointment is disappointment has very, very little to do with what we find or what we experience in life. Disappointment tends to only stem when our expectations aren't met, which is a really valuable idea because if we can learn how to manage our expectations, then this means that we can minimize the degree of disappointment that we experience in life. And as we know, that disappointment can sometimes, in fact usually does, lead to low confidence, sadness, low self-esteem, all that sort of thing. So it's a really important idea. Our confidence in life is based upon a number of factors, isn't it? It's based upon our past performance, our accomplishments, it's based upon our social upbringing. Come on, we're all influenced in some way by our parents, by our school teachers, by our friends, family members. Also, by how it is we've been raised culturally. I mean, if you've been raised in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, you're going to experience and have a very different set of cultural norms in your life than what you will have if you're raised in the middle of Scotland like me, or in the middle of New York City, or something like that. Your confidence is also going to be based upon the degree or the lack of encouragement and or persuasion that you've experienced. I mean, did your parents ever say, "Well done, son," or "Well done, daughter, I'm proud of you"? Unfortunately, some people go through life having never heard those precious words, all right? Our mindset, our attitude, and our general worldviews also feed into how confident we are or aren't, alongside the elasticity that we have in terms of how it is that we identify. I mean, how we identify is kind of a pretty big deal, isn't it? You know, some people identify and define themselves in really grandiose, significant ways and live confident, bold lives. Other people define themselves, you know, I am anxious. I'm an anxious person. That's who I am. I'm not a confident person. And, you know, if we think that this isn't important in terms of influencing how we feel about ourselves on a day-to-day basis, my friend, trust me, it is the foundational cornerstone. So this is everything that I want to share with you throughout the course. I want to help you to lay some robust and some solid foundations in your life that you can build the rest of your life upon, if that is okay. Right, there is an actual order of things, and it's important that I share this with you. So you're taking this course to hopefully grow in confidence and self-esteem, which is what I would say is nothing more than a consequence of you growing in self-awareness. The more aware you become of yourself, the more aware you become of the opportunity that you have to grow and develop yourself. And you are not going to experience heightened confidence until you commit to the process of developing yourself and growing. Now, I know what the popular kind of ideas are out there. Just love yourself, be grateful for your life, think it and you can do it. Positive thinking, think positively. There's a lot of cheese out there, all right? And I'm Scottish, and here in Scotland, we don't do cheese, apart from when we're eating it in a sandwich, all right? So you're not going to get any cheese in this course. I want to promote that self-awareness comes first. And this is kind of what I want to lead you in throughout this section of the course. It might be the case that you've heard some of these ideas before, and listen, that's okay. Please let me just remind you of that which you already know, all right? Which should be quite validating for you. Then there's your emotional intelligence, all right? Some people would view emotions as illnesses, sicknesses, and diseases or disorders that must be cured by a man or a woman in a white suit with letters after their names. I want to show you that emotions are more than possible of being managed, all right, but only as we grow in self-awareness. Self-definition, which centers around our identity, how it is that we define ourselves. This has to be strong, it has to be valuable, or we are only undermining ourselves. Self-discipline, the next step in our evolutionary process. If we do not become disciplined within ourselves, we are leaving ourselves open and exposed to letting people into our life who we should not have in our life. We might end up compromising our standards, our integrity, and doing things with our time that we don't even want to do, which is what many people do. Come on, think about it. How many people do you know today keep company with people they don't even like, or commit to doing dead-end jobs that they absolutely despise? All right? Why is it that some people waste their lives doing things that they don't even want to do? All right, these are some of the questions we're going to tap into throughout this training. Self-worth. What are you worth as a human being? Now, just in case you've never made the connection between self-worth and self-esteem, if you ever go to the doctors and say, I have a problem with self-esteem, the doctor will most likely say, yeah, you got to work on that. Go and speak to a counsellor or something like that, which is kind of not always the most useful approach. What I like to advocate is that if you want to boost your self-esteem, you've got to define your self-worth, i.e. the value that's in you. Is it possible for you to grow? Is it possible for you to develop and increase? Is it possible for you to upskill? Is it possible for you to become more generous? Is it possible for you to become more sharing, a more valuable human being? And on every single level, you know the answer is yes. But the question is how, all right, which is what I want to help you answer throughout this training. And as we start finding answers to all these questions, guess what? Confidence grows and our ability to assert ourselves also grows. All right, so I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not just here to take your money. All right, this course isn't costing you too much. I'm here to speak into your life, all right, and help you build a significantly more prominent future, if that's okay. So listen, this is how I've structured the course. I've broken the course down into 3 different sections. Section 1, we're going to cover an overview of the human experience. I want to help you understand the aspects of our experience that we all go through. All right, believe it or not, there's stuff that you've experienced and gone through in life that other people have also gone through and experienced. It's not about what happens to us in life. It's actually about how it is that we learn to respond. This is going to help us to get some foundations down for some heightened self-awareness. Right? I'm not going to be talking about your confidence or how you feel until I've given you a basis for becoming more aware of yourself, so you know where to look. I then want to integrate some of the psychology of personal growth. This is pretty much my background, by the way. Well, one of my backgrounds. Spent a decade in the army and then the next 15, 20 years studying psychology to figure myself out. So you could say I'm relatively well versed in what it is that I am going to be sharing with you throughout this training. I want you to then become established in your own personality and identity and understand the difference between the two. There's a big difference between your personality, which is how you are, and your identity, which is who you are. Personality is fluid. Personality is flexible. Our identity, we cannot afford it to be. Our identity must be a constant. All right? I'm going to help you understand this. Fear not. This will give us a basis for authentic personal confidence, because there's a big difference between who we are, how we are, and what we do in life, right? So I want to help you to get a bit of a vision and a sense of direction for how it is you can go on to conduct yourself for the rest of your life in alignment with a meaningful life vision, right? What's the point in you feeling better about yourself today if you don't know where you're going tomorrow? Come on some level you know this makes sense. This will then lead me on to wrapping up the course with some fundamental, essential principles for your personal and relational effectiveness. There's an idea that I share in many of my trainings, and it's this: that the quality of our life isn't always just based upon how we feel. The quality of our experience of life is more often than not based upon the quality and the depth of the connections and the relationships that we have with other people. So this is really important. I want to share some really pivotal ideas with you as well. Now, in the additional materials section, of this course, which you're going to find to the left or the right, I'm not sure which platform you're working on right now, you'll be able to access and download a course learning log / journal. Now, I'm going to be asking you lots of questions throughout the course for you to go away and reflect upon and think about. There's no tests, there's no exams. I do not need to examine you on you. You need to examine you on you. So I'm going to urge you to download this and go old school. Write down your thoughts, aha moments and realizations as you have them. Keep all your notes in one place. And one last final disclaimer. All right, I like to share this in every single one of my training courses, not because I'm repetitive, because I'm not. There's no getting away from this. Teacher, regardless of whether a teacher is the best teacher in the world or not, no teacher can bridge the gap between what you know and what you don't yet know. For a teacher's words to enlighten you, you must welcome them, you must carefully reflect on them, you must find a place in your mind to organize them so that in time you will understand them and apply them. I'm a teacher. My role is to teach, but as a learner, your responsibility is to learn. So welcome to the course, and I'll see you again in the next clip where we'll officially get this show on the road.